Fatal stabbing of British lawmaker David Amess called terrorist incident by UK police. David Amess, a Conservative Member of Parliament, was holding a meeting in his constituency at the time. This was a difficult incident, but our officers and paramedics from the East of England Ambulance Service worked extremely hard to save Sir David. Leigh-on-Sea, England. For the second time in little more than 5 years, a British lawmaker meeting with constituents was killed in full view of the public, this time in a genteel seaside town, where the victim, a Conservative Party Member of Parliament, was fatally stabbed on Friday inside a church. The attack, which the authorities declared a terrorist attack early Saturday, stunned Britain's political establishment, raising questions about the security of lawmakers at a time when the country is already on edge, unnerved by shortages of food and fuel, and frayed by a political culture that has become increasingly raw and combative in the aftermath of Brexit. The lawmaker, David Amess, 69, was a long-serving member of the House of Commons known for his soft-spoken manner and hardline views on Brexit. He was engaged in the everyday political routine of meeting with constituents when the attack occurred in Leigh-on-Sea, on the mouth of the Thames, about 40 miles east of London. The police said they had arrested a 25-year-old man on suspicion of murder and had recovered a knife at the scene. Jo Cox, a Labour lawmaker who opposed Brexit, was killed when a right-wing extremist targeted her outside a meeting with constituents. In 2010, another Labour lawmaker, Stephen Timms, was stabbed twice in the abdomen by an Islamist extremist, but survived. David was a man who believed passionately in this country and its future, and we've lost today a fine public servant and a much-loved friend and colleague, a visibly shaken Prime Minister Boris Johnson said in a televised statement. In Britain, most members of Parliament hold regular meetings, known as surgeries, to allow constituents to raise issues of concern. While the gatherings allow politicians to maintain contact with voters, they can also make lawmakers, who often travel without protection, vulnerable to security breaches. During the 2019 general election, lawmakers complained about being targeted by abuse on social media, which some feared would mutate into violent attacks on the street. Photographs taken at the scene showed a number of emergency responders in a cordoned-off area around the church. We are not looking for anyone else in connection with the incident and do not believe there is an ongoing threat to the wider public, the police said. He initially represented the seat of Basildon in Essex, where his election consolidated a groundswell of support for the Conservatives in that area. He switched constituencies to Southend West in 1997, a seat that he held in every subsequent general election. "We have a very healthy political scene in this country," he said. That attack took place in the fevered days before the Brexit referendum, and the assailant, Thomas Mayer, an unemployed gardener, was sentenced to life in prison. "Attacking our elected representatives is an attack on democracy itself," he wrote. "He was hugely kind and good," said Kerry Johnson, the wife of the Prime Minister, on Twitter. "I could write reams on how Sir David was one of the kindest, most compassionate, well-liked colleagues in Parliament." In Leigh-on-Sea, known for its annual regatta and folk festival, news of the attack reverberated through normally tranquil tree-lined streets. "This doesn't really happen, this is a nice quiet area," said Alicia Kodabakis, 24, who lives in an apartment a few doors down from the church. Lee Jordison, who works at a butcher shop 100 yards from the church, said he had heard sirens and seen armed officers running up the street, shattering the typical autumn afternoon quiet, and had known instantly that something was very wrong. "He always used to visit our shop," he said. Megan Specia reported from Leigh-on-Sea, and Stephen Castle and Mark Lentla from London.